students, now we are starting with the lecture number 7, and in this we are talking about the list data type and the tuple data type. In the previous lecture we have talked about the list data type and we have just started about some methods like the append and the insert method. Let us see some other methods, that how we are going to remove the elements from the list. Now, in this list here you can see that we have these 8 elements, and in this we want to remove A and F. Again we are using the method, and in this method the name of the method is remove. So, we are going to remove A and F under this variable mylist. So, the syntax remains the same, that is the variable name followed by the dot followed by the method's name followed by some parameters or extra information. So, here we are trying to remove the A, we are going to remove A from the list, that is my list. Similarly, the next one we are trying to remove F from my list, and you can see in the result that A and F both are removed. Now, the removing does not means the B holds the one index number, no. With the every removal of the element, the list will get updated itself. That means, once the A is removed, the automatically the B will assign with the 0 index number, because the starting starts with 0. Similarly, the next one, that is 1, 2, 3 and so on. So, we have removed the A and F. Now, we are again trying to remove the elements by using the second method, that is pop. So, let us say we want to remove the specific elements, you can remove it by giving the information correctly. That means, I want to remove the A, that means A, similarly F. But let us say you want to remove the elements, but you do not know the correct information, but you know what is the index number. So, when you want to remove the element by the index number, you can use the pop method. The second advantage of the pop is that if you are going to use the pop method without giving any index number, by default the value is -1. That means, it will remove the element from the last one. That means, this pop will remove this H, because the H is the last element inside your given list, that is my list. So, here we are going to remove this H. Similarly, when you are going to remove the pop, but they specified the index number, that means, the ball is 0, cat is 1, doll is 2. So, this number is also removed. Now, look at the output of this program. You can see the output of the program, just we have left with the 4 elements. Initially, we have the 8 elements, but right now at the final step we have 4 elements. So, this is how we remove the elements by specific methods, those are known as methods remove and pop. Now, let us say you want to remove the elements by using the keyword known as del. Now, here we are going to remove the element del. We are going to use this del keyword in order to remove the element. Now, in order to remove the element, you need to access it first. So, we are trying to access this element. This is the procedure how we are going to access an element, that is your variable followed by the square bracket, in that you need to put the index number. This is the subscription principle. So, by subscription principle we are able to access the element. You just need to put the del in front of that element, that is this one. So, by this what is the instruction? We are going to delete this element which is present at 1, that means this ball. Similarly, we are going to see the change after the removal of B, this become 1, this is 0, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. Now, in the next line you can see we are also going for the 4th element, that is this one. So, the rest is your the remain list. Here you can see in the print statement, but we can also delete the whole list. You just need to put it a variable because your list is a variable and in front of the del keyword. So, del followed by your variable is going to delete that variable. Your variable is a list, so that means the list is deleted. Now, you need to try a homework, that is, can you use a clear method? For this method you cannot directly apply it here, because here you are going to see that the variable is not existing. So, how you are going to specify this clear method? So, again you need to define a list, and on that you need to apply this method, that is clear. The answer for this clear method is, it is a empty list. Now, here you can see that once the elements are removed, we have the 6 elements, but what about the last one, when you have deleted the variable my list, because my list is representing the list. Here you can see the name error. The name error means that the name of this variable is not defined. You can see the detailed one, that the name error directly represents that this name variable is not available right now in the memory. The next thing is, this is a very beautiful operation, and this is how to copy a list. Generally in most of the programming language, the logic is very simple. You just need to put a new variable and followed by the assigning operator of the previous value. So, this is a normal syntax to represent a copy of a list to a new list, but can this statement works in this list or not? Let us see, let us find out whether what is happening with this operation. Now, for that you need to go for the output of this program. So, the output of this program is this one, that when you have performed this operation, new list is equal to my list. So, the values of my list is transferred to the new list. You can see in the new list and my list, this is your new list and this is your my list, and here you can see the both elements are same, very identical to each one, but when you are performing a deleting operation in the new list, what is happening here, that you have deleted the one element, that is from the new list, the one is the ball, but it is reflecting in both. That means you have made the changes in original too. Whenever you have created a duplicate copy, and whatever the operations you perform on the duplication copy must not be reflected on the original one. That is what the principle behind of copying the things. But what is happening here, that you are creating the duplication, but still with the duplication the original is also going under the operation, even if the operations are going for the new list. So, here you can see that the operations are applying on both the datas. That means this statement is somehow acting as different in Python programming. So, what is happening here is this new list. This means this new list is nothing but the alias of this my list. When I am saying it is an alias of my list, it means like whenever we have a person, but with two different names, like for example, let us say look at a person with the name of Mahesh. So, Mahesh is the name for calling that person. Similarly, let us say the Monu is also the name for the same person Mahesh. That means the both names are representing one data set. So, here the same principle is applied, that new data is basically the referring to the old data. That means the new data is nothing but the alias of the older data, and due to this what is happening, that the original data can be accessed from the new data as well as from my data, that is the older data. So, in order to create a copy, you can go for the either of the two steps. The first step is you can use the copy method. So, when you are using the copy method, the answer for this get changed. You can see here that the operation is taking place in the new list, and here the element is missing, but in the original the element remains unchanged. Similarly, the next step is that you can use this list constructor or list method. Now, in this what is happening is we are pulling out this list constructor to construct a new list. So, we are giving the construction of this new list under the heading of new list, but we are disintegrating my list into into a new list. When we are doing this, a new list is created with the new data set, because the list constructor will construct a new data set for the new list. Then again you can see, yes, it is working, because in the new data set the datas are reflecting one element less from the original one, because the operation is taking place in the new list. Next, now the next thing is how we are going to join the two lists together. Now, in order to join the two lists together, you can directly take the help of plus operator. You can see the list 1 is A B C D up to H and the list 2 is 1 2 3 4. So, in order to join the list, you can directly use this plus sign, that is list 1 plus list 2, and the output will be the A B C D followed by 1 2 3 4. That means the order is important. If you are going for the list 2 plus list 1, the order will be different, that is 1 2 3 4 followed by A to H. Here you can see in the output that the order is the list 1 followed by the list 2. So, here the list 1 followed by the list 2. Next, there is one method to join the list by using the plus operator, the second one is by using the append. We have already discussed about the append method. In this, the elements are added one by one. You cannot add the element together or in a group. So, in here you need to use again the for loop. You just need to remember the syntax. When we are again discussing in the for loop, that time I will make sure this looping operation with the for loop must be clear. So, here you just need to look that yes, we can use this append method to add the element, and in the output you can verify it that this A B C D followed by 1 2 3 4, because we are appending in list 1, the list 1 is this one, and in appending what is happening, the last position is occupied with the new one. So, the last position goes to 1 followed by 2 followed by 3 followed by 4. You can also use the extend method to join the two lists. That means, you can directly join the one list with the another. Again the principle remains the same as of method, but the thing is that we are applying this method on a list 1. That means, the list 1 will be updated by using the extend. Now, here you can see that list 2 is extended to the list 1 at the back. Next, now in order to sort the data in the list data type, again we have a method known as a sort method, and in this method we are just using the list. You can see the A B C D E F G H, it is already sorted in ascending order. So, when you are going to use the sort, it will reflect the same. That means, the data is arranged in the ascending order. By default in the sort method, the order is ascending, but if you want the reverse order, you can go for it by putting the information or a parameter known as reverse as true. So, once you are putting this reverse as true, the answer is the reverse order of this whole sequence. You can see in the first one, the order remains the same, because it is already sorted in ascending order. But what about in the next one is it is reversed, that is from ascending to descending. Last one is use the reverse method. So, this is the last method for the list data type, and here we are just going to reverse it. Reverse means we are just going to flip this one upside down, because it is starting with the A ending with the H, we are just going to turn upside down. That means, the element with starting with the H follow till the end A. You can see here that the order is totally reversed. So, it is almost similar to the short, but the principle is different from the short, because in short the order is ascending or descending, but here it is flipping the same. That means, it is just printing that reverse of a given list. Now, the next data type is the tuple data type. We have already covered everything about the list data type. Now, we are going for the tuple data type. In tuple data type, we have some characteristics. The very first one is ordered, the second is it is unchangeable, the third one is the duplication is allowed. Now, here you need to understand that list and the tuple both are sequential data type. The very first point about the tuple data type is these both are the sequential data type, and in the sequential data type again the indexing principle is valid. That means, it is almost identical to the list data type, but what is the difference? The difference lies in this one, it is unchangeable. The next difference is the round bracket is the identity for the tuple. Here you can see it is not the square brackets, it is the round bracket, again the separated by commas. The example is almost similar to the list data type, that is apple, banana, cherry. Instead of the square brackets, we have the round bracket. What is more, we are going for the subscription in the same way what we have done in the list data type. You can see 0, 1, 2, minus 1. This minus 1 means this cherry has a negative indexing of minus 1. You can see apple, banana, cherry, the cherry. So, here again we are getting the cherry, it is almost identical to the list data type. Then what is the difference? The difference lies in this bracket, because this difference with the bracket makes it unchangeable. Now, we are going for the subscription followed by slicing operation. So, you have already seen the subscription process. Now, the next one is the slicing process. Now, here the principle again holds same, except the data become tuple. So, here we have this tuple in the form of A to H, and we are trying to access 2 to 6. So, the value is from 2 to 5. Similarly, for this one the answer is 2 till last. Now, the next one, these are with the different step values. Here you can see the answer is starting from minus 6, but it is going up to minus 2. Why it is minus 2? Because it is always n minus 1 in slicing operation. This number is minus 1, but it is minus 1 minus 1, because the general formula is n minus 1. So, it is minus 2. You can verify the outputs once you have decoded all the concept behind the slicing. You can see from 2 to 6 we are going from 2 to 3, 4, 5. So, this is your output C, D, E, F. The same way here you can see we are going from minus 6 to minus 2. So, minus 6, that is it is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, minus 7, minus 6 and so on. So, minus 6 is this one, and we are going to minus 2. So, the output is from C to G. So, this is how we decode a slicing operation in tuple data type. Now, the next thing is whether the tuple are changeable, that means mutable or immutable. Now, let us find out by using this operation, because the subscription is valid, that holds true. That means, if we are trying to reassign the value, it might do something. it might reassign the value. Instead of bag, sorry, this one is B. So, instead of B we get bag. By reassigning, is it working or not? Let us check out the output of this one, and here you can see that it is a type error. The tuple object does not support item assignment. That means you cannot assign the values. It means that the changing values are not applicable to the tuple data type. That means the tuple are immutable. So, tuples are totally immutable. So, what is happening next thing is we are checking for the information, checking for the values whether the A and F is lying in the tuple or not, and I think so it is very clear that you should use membership operator. We are going to use the membership operator in. If this condition holds true, you will get yes. If this condition holds true, you will get double yes. The last thing is, again we are going to use the len function to see that what is the number of elements in your given tuple. So, the number of the elements you can see it is 8. So, both are getting yes, double yes and 8. That means, whatever we have explained, it is totally on the right track. With this, I will end my lecture on this tuple data type and the list data type. So, before ending this lecture, I just go through the overview of this whole lecture is that we have seen the methods related to the list data type followed by the tuples. In that we have seen the characterizations of a tuple, that whether a tuple is mutable, it is orderable, and the last thing is that how the membership operator works in order to get the specified value. With this, I will thank you to all for listening.